I'm back again. It's like a lot of videos. One yesterday and one today. I wanted to talk more about my visions actually. I've just been watching one of my favourite YouTube channels from Greg Prescott. And I watch a lot of In 5D because when I felt like I was going absolutely crazy listening to Greg talking and when I used to get really depressed and have really bad days because I honestly thought I was nuts. So listening to Greg has always cheered me up and made me feel a lot better, and I'm a huge fan. I am just this huge fan of Greg, and I just messaged him to say, oh my god, I love you, because he just makes me feel better. He really does. Like, listening to him talk just makes me feel better. Like, I'm not fucking crazy, that other people are going through strange things as well and have the same sort of beliefs that I do and have done their research as well into things. Because obviously, I mean, I don't know whether he's had a spiritual awakening. I don't really know much about him, but I know he deals with entities and things like that. Hello, Fleeman. Look, it's the cat's butt. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard him say that he has visions as well. So that is kind of, it's helpful to me too, to not think that I am absolutely barking. And the further on I go along this path and everything, the more people I find who have these sort of connections and things like that, very spiritual. I said to my mum today, I said, you know, I'm very spiritual. She's like, no, you're not. No, really, I am very spiritual now. I wasn't before. 0%. I didn't have any of it within me. I mean, I must have done on a certain level, but not on the level that I do now. Where, like, I have my Tree of Life, oh, it's the wrong way round, pendant on. So I don't wear it all the time because it's a bit chunky, and I really like little necklaces rather than big medallions, and if you wear that in the sun you're going to end up with a massive suntan mark and nobody wants that. But that's my olive tree behind, and I sit on my swing quite a lot, which is wrapped in the tree because we had wind, and I'll meditate and connect to my spirit guides and talk to angels and things like that. I have to be like on a certain vibration to be able to connect with them. If I'm running around ragged and, you know, I'm got anxiety and I'm stressed, sometimes they'll come to me, but it's a lot harder to connect when you're in that state. And sometimes they just come through me, or something will come through me to calm me down so I don't go and get myself sectioned again. Because there's been times where I've wanted to go in myself because I can't handle like what's happened to me, and like having these spirits and everything and having the connections that I do, I haven't been able to handle it, and having the visions as well, because some of them are terrifying. And it's like seeing the state of the planet and understanding and knowing and seeing everything that's going on. And I've already seen it 3 years ago, and now it's like time's catching up with me because I was shown all these kind of things to go away and research and question and kind of say, you know, why are things the way that they are on this planet? Why are things not different? And that's what the visions were really about then. And I kind of think I know where they come from. They're definitely not from me, because there's no way I would have imagined any of the stuff that they showed me. And that's why I always revert to, I don't ask for names when I'm talking to whatever's in my mind. The thought forms that communicate with me, I don't ask for names, but I'm fairly certain, given my experiences and that I'm not just dealing with spirits. And I did have a very strange moment in hospital as well, where I was doing these hand signs. So, hold on, let me see if I can do this. Sorry about that, cut myself off. Right, so the hand sign started like this, like this, like this, and then I can't remember the last one, but it was above my head somewhere. And it was like this kind of symbol like that. Something like that. And I kind of forgot about it for a while, but then it's starting to come back to me a bit more now. And I keep seeing these geometric patterns everywhere. And I love a bit of sacred geometry now. I watch cartoons like Spirit Science. And I love it with the sacred geometry and everything. So I love seeing people wearing pendants with sacred geometry on it, because I'm like, yeah, that's my bag, man. That's so cool. And every time I see that, it just makes me feel really good, because I saw how dark the world was in my visions and how dark it could get, and the awful things that could happen. And you know, when I saw all of that and realised and researched and looked into just everything that I'd seen, and realised that my visions were real, that I could actually declare myself as a sovereign being and break all my soul contracts and just exist in my own kind of bubble of reality, however weird it gets. I'm dealing with it a lot better than I was before, because before it was like, whoa, crazy, you're nuts. My parents say I have an amazing imagination, and I'm like, seriously, half the shit that I see doesn't even come from me. It doesn't. I don't know where the visions come from, but they're definitely not from me. Well, I know when I'm creating the visions, and the other visions I'm not creating, and I'm just like, whoa, I've just seen the future. And it's so crazy. It really is. But it's so cool as well, because it really gives me hope. And to see that there's loads of other people talking about this kind of stuff as well, and just standing in their own truth and their own experience, it makes it easier for me to come out and talk about my experiences and my truth and the things that, you know, I've been through, and just seem a little bit less crazy. But I guess, oh God, what's that cat doing? In time, everything will kind of unfold in some way or another. I don't know what's going to happen, but it will be weird. Whatever happens, it will just be really weird, and everyone will be like, there'll be a lot of really upset people, and a lot of very disheartened people, and a lot of people that people have admired will no longer have their respect, and they'll lose respect for quite a lot of people, is what I can, you know, based on what I've seen and experienced, you know, it's going to happen. But yeah, it's all for the best, and it's a huge wake-up call for everyone, really. And we kind of need it, because, you know, we need to get our act together and unify, work as a team, and not be divided so much by whatever's dividing us. But it's all coming together. It's all good. So yeah, that's more about my visions. Okay, yeah, hopefully I can join this to the last video. Okay, bye.